I've seen the trailer of Venom, and this would usually. This is probably going to be a short video, but this is my second take. My computer's running out of room, so the first time I did this fucking video, it only got the first 5 minutes. But it was mainly me rambling anyway, so let's just cut to the meat, cut to the chase. I am not that happy about this movie. Like, again, I've seen the trailer. I'm not allowed to show it on YouTube. I know they're going to blast it because they blast the Apple trailer that I showed, which is odd because you'd think you'd want people to show your trailer around to as many eyes as possible, even if they hate the trailer. It's just more eyes getting on it, but whatever. I gotta say, I am not too hyped about this movie. Will I watch it? Probably with some friends. But look, here's the deal, right? It's just your average run of the mill Marvel schlop. They're gonna have a shitty villain. They're gonna have ha ha funny funny meme acting, which I guess with Venom is applicable, but so many other Marvel movies do it that even if, again, it fits the character, it's like whatever. They even did a Marvel joke in the trailer. It's like huge. And they're gonna have a shitty villain. Like what they did with Carnage in the last movie was trash because, to my knowledge, Carnage is one of the strongest of all the symbiotes. But they just hand fisted him away like nothing, and it's like, okay. And again, if you look at the cartoons, right? I mean, I liked the art of the symbiotes. It looked weird, it looked uncanny. And there's obviously other symbiotes, all of them having their own thing, but the problem with Marvel is it takes things that have existed in the comics and it dumbs them down. Like, it dumbs down the stories, it dumbs down the characters. It just lowers everything to the lowest common denominator to where you're like, oh, it would be cool if they did this thing, but then deep inside your soul, deep inside your very being, they're going to mess that thing up, right? Or they're not going to do the thing justice. Because they're trying, again, here's the problem with them, right? Disney and Marvel as a whole, they're trying to mass produce art, which universally never works. Like, maybe they're too damn big to fail, right? Like, if they believe, and by that I mean obviously Marvel and Disney, if they believe they can just keep mass producing schlop ad infinitum and they just will never fail, I guess that's just the timeline we're living in. But, and they might maybe get one or two things right, but for the most part, when I see a Marvel movie or when I see Star Wars, I'm like, yeah, I mean, they might have like sprinkles of interest, but it's mainly just they're mass producing and lowering and, you know, doing the bare minimum. And obviously, they're going to try shoving ideology in there somewhere because that's also something people are pointing out, right? Because people know that, again, this is the type of company Marvel is, this is the type of company Disney is. They're riding the moral panic, right? They use morality, they use moral panics to sell their products, and the problem is it doesn't work. Even all the of all the check boxes they'll try to check or try to throw in there, these things usually just never pan out because, okay, who likes Marvel movies? Who likes superhero movies? Well, young adolescent men. And at the day, you only really have the art you put out in your demographic, like this idea of trying to reach out and touch the unicorn that is a wider audience. Like that just doesn't exist. That's an excuse to try to turn away from the fans, try to turn away from your core market, to check boxes, maybe get ESG, maybe get whatever. And this is something I've really been thinking about, right? Is the fact that, you have the fans, right? They're effectively walking billboards, right? A fan that likes your product might tell, five or six people, maybe 50, 60,000 that they have a decent YouTube channel, right? But a pissed off fan, like a fan that person that you've pissed off, will tell 50, 60, 70 people how pissed off you made them. And, well, 50, 60, 70,000 people if they have a good YouTube channel. And they don't want the fans anymore, right? They don't want me to watch Marvel or to watch Star Wars. Like, they want the people that just shut up and consume. They want the people on Twitter, who's apparently their new market. The people that will come out the woodworks to attack you if you ever shit on a Marvel product or ever shit on a Star Wars product. Like, they throw morally charged insults and labels at you. Like, oh, I guess you're sexist. I guess you're racist. Because, again, these companies, they say the things you want to hear, right? They say, oh, we're all for diversity. And the switch flips in your fucking head. And now you're in defend multi-billion-dollar company mode. But, and again, they don't want the fans, right? They don't want people that be like, okay, this is inconsistent. This is bad. This is shit. Do better. They want the mindless people that just sit and consume. And again, I think both positions are fine. I think both types of people can exist, but it really takes creativity to hone in the fans, and that's creativity that DC Comics used to have. And I mean Marvel. Well, DC used to have it too, and even Lucasfilms and Star Wars. Like, they used to have this level of creativity. But again, they fired all their creative people, and now all they have are. I don't doubt their creative people still working at the companies, but what I've heard is that they're coping and seething because you have people like, say, like consultants, people that are hired off ideological nepotism, that has never written a comic in their life, or they have never written a game in their life, but because they've studied a major, right, in college, they now are placed in positions over, again, the people that have been working at these companies for 20, 30-ish years, and now they have the final say on everything, and it's very demoralizing, right? And there's no way you can pump out art in this situation, because you have the people who are legitimately good at what they're doing being like, why am I taking orders from this person, right? Why is, like in the situation with Blizzard, you have artists like, why is this person telling me how I can and can't draw my female characters? But you have the guy who draws buff male characters, and he's fine. They don't talk about him. They talk about the guy making the sexy female characters. Like, we know these things are happening. Like, and people are trying to convince me that what I see with my own eyes and what I am told is incorrect. Okay, take the sources with a grain of salt. But what I see with my own fucking eyes, people are trying to convince me, no, you're incorrect. This is simply something you do not see. It's like, okay, kiss my ass. And then again, it's the exact same people who do not watch who are not fans of this shit. They do not play the fucking video games I do. They do not watch the fucking movies I do. They just come out the woodwork to just tell me I'm wrong. It's like, is this the market Marvel wants? Is this the market DC wants? The people, like, why even have a PR in companies if you can just use ideology and it'll weaponize people who are with the same ideology and they'll come out the woodworks and defend you. Why the fuck even have a PR arm of a company? It's like, but again, and again, the reason I'm talking about this is like, why would I watch Venom over anime? Because look, I work hard for my money and my time is valuable. You know, maybe I'll watch this with a friend because shitting on it with a friend, shitting on it with people is more entertainment than probably the movie itself. And that's the problem with most of these movies coming out, right? Because you have channels like Heels versus Babyface, you know, or like Angry Joe. You have people who shit on these things. Or I guess Angry Joe didn't shit too much on it. But again, you have people who talk about like these movies that make hundreds of millions of views, right? Or hundreds of thousands of views, about 1 million of views, and it's becoming funner to shit on like a Star Wars product than actually watch the show or watch the movie. And this is where we're at, right? People gain more enjoyment for shitting on Star Wars, for pulling down their britches and taking a piss on Star Wars and actually watching the fucking TV, the shows. And again, this is what they like. They spend millions of dollars to make it this way. Like, movies cost several millions of dollars to make, right? And like the people they hire that don't add anything cost hundreds of thousands of dollars an hour, you know, to sit on their ass and tell people who actually do the job, do the work, what to do or how they can do it. You know, this is a very expensive ideology that they have in this company. And again, I guess they're getting money off ESG because there are, I guess in the case of Disney, it's, you know, Disney and Orlando and people going to that place where they get their money. But Marvel, it's like, it has to be ESG, right? There's funding. Or I'll continue to fund this because it makes no other sense why it will continue. And again, at the end of the day, you know, if these companies go under, it'd be a good thing because these companies they don't compete anymore. You know, they copy each other's homework. Like every DC, every Marvel movie, you know, is just gonna be a funny, ha ha meme movie. It's not gonna take anything seriously. It's gonna try to keep its PG rating, right? Because it'd rather still be for children, despite having violence or the implication of. They want to maintain the PG 13, which is an odd decision. I don't know why you can't just have an M for mature Marvel movie. You know, you're supposed to make things with the expectation that people will grow up. You know, have the new shit. Well, what am I talking about? Marvel can't make new IPs. They can only drag the same old bullshit to the ground. But in whatever weird timeline where Marvel actually creates shit, you know, have that be for PG. Like, just why can't we have the heroes, at least the ones from the comics, you know, like Iron Man, like Venom, you know, why can't they be in for mature? Because we're assuming the people who've watched them when they were young have grown the fuck up, right? But it seems that Marvel is like infantilizing its audience, right? It thinks you're a stupid fucking idiot. And you can see it in all the CG, you can see it in the storytelling, you can see it in the trash villains and trash ideas, right? That only really resonate with, you know, their clique. You know, only really trying, they'll probably try to current day it, because of course. But, you know, that's That's really all I gotta say about this. Again, it's a shame that we will never have what was cool because they want to lower everything to the lowest common denominator. And I guess the actor, he does a good job acting, right? I mean, he's fine. I guess Venom as, you know, I'm about to say hero, as effectively a villain is fine. But again, it's just the fact that Marvel's over it, so you'll never have anything interesting. But that's all I gotta say about that. Peace.